The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Chubb for club. What's next for Cade Klubnik? Frank Reich was asked about that when he spoke with reporters earlier today. Is Klubnik the guy for the Jets as QB2? We're going to talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Football Friday, baby. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Jets, let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show presented by PrizePicks. Reminder, if you miss the show live on YouTube every day, twice a day at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the audio version of the show is up for grabs on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So subscribe there, watch on YouTube, and you can listen from anywhere. Let's say hello to our guy, Dylan Tereman, who joins us in his weekly spot on the program. DT, happy Football Friday to you. You ready to talk about Cade Klubnik as you're rocking the number 10 Cade Klubnik Jets jersey?
Yeah, of course. As soon as I got the link, I saw the title of the show. I was like, do I put the Cade Klubnik jersey on? I said, F it. I'm going fully in the club. Cade Klubnik, come on, baby. QB2 for our New York Jets.
QB2, Cade Klubnik. It's his job to lose, seemingly. But let's hear from Frank Reich, who was asked earlier today about Klubnik. Good question here by Rich Samini.
What are your thoughts on Klubnik so far? And since we're not going to get you before the first game, what would you expect from him in the first game against Tampa?
I think Cade's been good. I'm really like how he's come back mentally, and I feel like he's taken a good step mentally. It's a lot now. Like, I think we're at the point where everything is pretty much in. He shows the aptitude to pick it all up, the aptitude for big plays, right? And just continue to weather the storm. There will be some storm. You're a rookie quarterback. You're gonna take your lumps. But I'm happy with the whole quarterback room. All those guys that are kind of competing for the number 2 spot are doing a good job.
The last part there, I don't buy. To me, it's Cade Klubnik and Geno Smith as their quarterbacks right now. Geno, obviously the starter. Cade competing to be number 2. But I don't think it's a lock he's number 2. I think how he looks against the Bucs in the joint practices, how he plays against Tampa in the preseason game, I think that has a lot to do with whether or not he remains QB2. Because if you're Darren Muji, and especially if you're Aaron Glenn, if you're not confident in Cade Klubnik, can you really go into the year with him being one hit away to Geno Smith from having to come in and play quarterback? If you're Aaron Glenn trying to save your job, all of a sudden something happens to Geno Smith, and here comes a day 3 quarterback going out there to try and save your tail end. I don't know if that necessarily makes the most sense. So, Dylan, your thoughts on what Cade has to actually do to be this team's backup quarterback when the Jets start their season in Nashville?
Yeah, I mean, we're only 7 practices into training camp, and today, by all accounts, was a very light pseudo walkthrough type of practice. So it's probably going to look better, and it did for Cade Klubnik. But when you look at the stats over each day for him, and stats aren't the only thing, of course, his stats aren't there. He's thrown a handful of interceptions, which, like Frank Reich said, weathering the storm. It's really tough to say the jury is still out, or I would say the jury is still out, rather, on Cade Klubnik, because we haven't seen that preseason game, right? We saw what Carson Beck and even Haynes King was able to do last night in the Hall of Fame game. And I'm not saying Cade Klubnik has to replicate anything like that, multiple touchdowns, really good completion percentage, but you have to at least see him taking live bullets before you're able to evaluate. And I'm still in the camp that they probably will make a decision on quarterback between the Bucks and the Steelers game or between the Steelers and the Giants game this preseason, whether that's via trade or trying to find somebody on the open market. But I would say right now, yeah, you got to hedge your bet if you're Aaron Glenn. You cannot have a 4th round rookie kind of thrust into action, whatever happens to Geno Smith. And we'll probably get into the positives of Geno Smith from Frank Reich today, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to hold up for 17 games this whole season. So I'm a little worried about it, but also I do like what Frank Reich had to say about his mentality, his aptitude for big plays. That does come along with holding on to the ball for too long, which we've seen him do at camp. And I think Robbie alluded to this a little bit, but sometimes he would leave out of the pocket and just kind of scramble and just look for something. And like, that's not necessarily sound football for training camp. That's more of a rookie move. So that's part of weathering the storm here. But there's ups and downs with Cade Klubnik, of course. Do I want him to be closer to what we saw from Carson Beck and Haynes King last night? Absolutely. That was pretty electric for a Hall of Fame game. But we have to see it first before we can make any real, evaluations. And the Bucks are going to be a really good test 1 week from now. It's crazy to say.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa's got a really good defense. Say whatever you want about Todd Bowles. We know he's a really good defensive mind. So it will be interesting to see how he looks. And I'm not ruling out the possibility of Klubnik playing well and just earning the job. But again, I keep coming back to the fact that the head coach is on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
Does he really want his quarterback to be a rookie, not drafted in the first round or the second round or even the third round like Carson Beck was, who played well last night in that Hall of Fame game you mentioned, Dylan? He's a 4th round guy. And a lot of people felt like Klubnik was probably more of a 5th or a 6th in some scenarios. So again, if he plays great, awesome. But this is where you really got to hope that Frank Reich has the real pulse of the position and understand. Like what he says with the media, he's never going to badmouth a player publicly. He's telling you that, I'm happy with Brady Cook and Bailey Zappi competing. And we just know based on the rep counts during these practices that that's just not true. It's really Klubnik's job to lose at this point. But you just have to hope that Frank Reich, who's as cued in as any to the quarterback position, given his background, could be honest with Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji and say, look, Cade might be something, but maybe he needs to be QB3 for the first month and change of the year. And we need to trade a 7th rounder to go get Andy Dalton, who could be Geno Smith's backup.
Yeah, it needs to be like a daily, if not every other day, kind of conversation for the coaches to have. Like, hey, what does it look like today at practice? Did he go back into the meeting room and understand where his mistakes were and understand what he needs to improve upon? It needs to be literally a day-to-day development with him before you can, like I said, make any type of real evaluation on him. And you mentioned the Bucks being a really good defense. I think they're a pretty phenomenal defense, despite, they had struggles last year. They missed the playoffs. I'm interested to know, and obviously we're still a week out, but we'll get some intel based on the joint practices. If they play Geno Smith, hypothetically, just 1 drive, maybe 2 drives, how much do you give Cade Klubnik? Do you let him play the remainder of the first half into the third quarter, and then you split up some of that second half between Zappi and Cook, who you probably don't need to get an extended look at anyway? Like, where are you looking at personally? Like, how much do you want to see of Cade Klubnik a week from now?
It's a great question. I'd like to see him play as much as possible, to be honest with you. I'd give Geno Smith a couple drives in the first quarter because it's a brand new offense. If you remember what Aaron Glenn did last year, he had the starters play that opening drive against the Packers. They went down the field, they scored a touchdown, and then that was it. Yep. Could you see something similar this year if they start off as well as they did last year with Fields? Maybe. But if you're Aaron Glenn, you got to make sure this offense is ready to roll right away. I'd consider giving Geno 2 drives or let him play the entire first quarter. That's probably 2 or 3 drives at the most in that scenario. And then, honestly, the rest of the game, I'd go to Klubnik. I don't need to see Zappi at all. I'm sure he'll get in there. I'm sure Cook will get in there too for whatever reason. But I would prefer to see Klubnik play more than anyone. Like if you just told me they did Geno and then Klubnik the rest of the game, I think every Jet fan would be on board with that.
Yes, I certainly would be. Like I said, I don't know if they would go to that full extent, but like you said, Geno gets 2 drives. Let's say there's 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and Klubnik comes in that first drive. I would say given all the way through to the fourth quarter, and then you pick one of your quarterbacks between Zappi and Cook, probably going to be Zappi, to play the entire fourth quarter. So you get a little over 2 quarters of Cade Klubnik, That way you can get your 2-minute situation in before the half. You can give him like time to settle in and adjust. You can't just give him a couple drives and then all of a sudden you're going to Bailey Zappi, because 4 quarterbacks on the roster is a little bit unique. We heard the Panthers, I believe they only have 3 on the roster, so that's why it was Kenny Pickett and then Haynes King for the rest of the game with Bryce Young out. So maybe they don't even start Geno Smith and Cade Klubnik gets the start against Tampa Bay. We don't know, and maybe that is what they're thinking about for the first game at least. So I'm with you. Give me 2+ quarters of Cade Klubnik to really settle in, show what he can do, hopefully lead a couple scoring drives, and get those hiccups out of the way.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Dylan Tereman is our guest as we talk all things New York Jets. Frank Reich speaking earlier today. And DT, Frank Reich is excited to be back with the Jets.
A lot. I mean, it's energized me a lot. I get my energy from AG, number one, right? I mean, like a lot of the players here, you know, he's a great leader. So I'm connected to that, to his leadership. But ultimately, as the offensive coordinator, I get my energy from the players on offense. You know, wanting to see them excel, wanting to see G do his thing, excited about what we're seeing from AD. Tight ends, man, put any one of you in there. All of your great players, you know. Seeing what Brees can do. Braylon looks great running the ball. He's big and strong. I mean, watching Geno operate, the other quarterbacks operate this offense, and Geno's laser-like focus, man, it's hard not to get excited about that every day. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Reich is an adult in the room, and any chance the Jets have of being a team better than we expect, it's Frank Reich being Chan Gailey, and it's Geno Smith being Ryan Fitzpatrick. The irony being that could have been Geno all those years ago, and we know what happened. But that's kind of what you need if the Jets are going to be this surprise team that's going to exceed their national expectations, which is around 5.5 wins at every major sports book.
Yeah, I don't want to say Frank Reich has turned back the clock and like found this, fountain of youth and coaching with the Jets here, but it does seem like there is a lot to get excited about, and that's kind of what he was trying to say with his energy. It's like more excitement for what this offense can do. There was a comment in here, I believe it was Dano. He said, listen to this full interview in its entirety. I would certainly recommend that to all Jets fans. Go out and watch this entire thing. I think it was like 11 or 12 minutes.
I played the full thing during my first show today for those who didn't hear it.
Perfect. So you could just go right back to Jake's previous stream. He talked about just about every single person on this offense in such a glowing way. And obviously a coach is going to do that. But I feel really strongly that the combination of him and Seth Ryan, whatever degree Seth Ryan's involved, I'm not saying it's 50-50, obviously, but I do think that we're going to see things from this offense that at least give us a chance. They might not be the most, innovative thing in the NFL, and we're replicating Ben Johnson or evolving Ben Johnson's offense like tenfold. But I do think that we're going to see some things from Frank Reich and Seth Ryan that we have not necessarily come to appreciate from this Jets offense, because forward passes weren't a thing last year. Downfield passes haven't been a thing since maybe Zach Wilson in like his rookie year. I feel like he was taking some shots and then got scared. So we just haven't seen normal offensive things, and we get that plus a little bit more from Reich, and I think there's some good to work with.
Look, the bottom line is, if you just look at the talent the Jets have on their offense and remove Jets from the helmet, there's enough there where this team should be competent offensively. We're not asking for you to be the Rams or the Niners or any elite offensive team. We're asking you to be a watchable football team where you're not behind every damn game because your offense is struggling to get a first down and the defense has to be on the field the whole half, and that puts you in a hole. Like, we're asking you to be relevant. We're asking you to be able to score 20-plus points a game. It's pretty reasonable with the offensive line I believe they have, especially their tackles. I think it's reasonable with the weapons they have. I mean, later on in this press conference, Reich was just raving about how good Breece Hall is and how smart he is, and he had no idea what exactly he was getting. He always was a fan of him, but now getting to work with him, he's been blown away with Breece, and he's so thrilled that they got the contract stuff done months ago. Like, Frank Reich had Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis. He could design an offense that features a great running back. I hope they really rely on Breece, especially early, because if you want to eliminate the turnovers by Geno, he's led the NFL in interceptions the last 2 years combined with 32. The best way to do that, Dylan, run the hell out of the football with Breece Hall, and then you're asking a lot less from Geno Smith.
Yeah, 100%. And we saw last year, they were 6th or 8th in running in terms of total run offense last year. And that was when everybody on the field and everybody in the stadium knew that the Jets were just going to run the ball as many times as possible. So now you at least have the threat of the quarterback. Last year, we thought we had the threat of the quarterback run, which was going to help us. It obviously didn't. But now we have the threat of the quarterback being a quarterback. So that is going to, show some too high safety looks. It's
threat
like the
of
most
a quarterback being a quarterback.
It's the most trivial thing ever. And you went to like your can they just be relevant? My whole thing this offseason is just that's my acronym. Can they be competent? Can they be average? Can they just be normal? That's all we want. And I feel like you can actually do that. Plus you have, like you said, this talent surrounding Geno Smith, offensive line specifically. I liked that Frank Reich was getting juiced up talking about the offensive line. And then you go out to the skill position players. Like there's almost no excuse to not be top 20 at worst in offense. And last year, the 20th best offense was the Los Angeles Chargers. The only difference is they passed the ball like a normal offense. We had the exact same run metrics as them. Obviously, less scoring input from the rushing game, but every difference from a statistical category was passing. So obviously, Justin Herbert to Justin Fields is a big difference, but can Geno Smith kind of bridge that gap to get us close? And then if we're the 20th best offense, the Chargers were a playoff team last year, I believe, right? So we're right there on the cusp of it, and it starts with the offense first.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you're tuned in on a Football Friday, I got great news. We got an awesome giveaway today. End of the show. Wayne Chrebet signed jersey. Get your entries in, gift a membership, or send in a $10 plus super chat to the stream, and we will put you on the Wheel of Champions with your chance to win. This Sunday, we're going to be giving away 4 prizes on the show. It's our weekly raffle. So when you enter during this show to win the Wayne Chrebet jersey, you also will be entered in our raffle on Sunday for a chance to win a Joe Namath signed helmet, Joe Klecko signed helmet, Curtis Martin signed helmet, and a Darrelle Revis or any Jet legend jersey of your choosing. Big shout out to Patty out in Ireland who became a channel member. Patty, thanks for your support. You're in the raffle for 1 Danger Zone with an Asmaniac super chat says 2 gold standards on 1 screen. I'd like your thoughts on the title Heir to the Throne for Cade Klubnik. I'll hang up and listen. Dylan, Heir to the Throne for Cade Klubnik. You're on mute.
Why wouldn't I be on mute? Of course. This is a good question by Dano. As somebody who rocks a 1 buzz cut, a 1/2 fade, I probably can't speak to the hair department. It's a good name. I don't know. There's so many nicknames that I think you can give Cade Klubnik. I don't know. I have to find a good one, but Heir to the Throne definitely is a competitor.
Yeah, I'm going to say no, Danger. I'm going to say no, Dano. I'm going to say no. How about Chubb for Club? Hey. Yeah. Anyway, we brought up Geno Smith. So much of the season, obviously, he's the quarterback, revolves around him. Well, at least Frank Reich is giddy about working with Geno so far. Take a listen.
Geno's the leader. He's the leader of the offense. Make no mistake about it in every way, shape, and form. And to me, what has come crystal clear to me in this early time in training camp, the attribute that sticks out to me is his laser focus. This man is laser focused like people don't understand. Like he comes to work. He comes to work and he is locked in. And I feel like the whole offense plays off of that. That's a really big deal.
Dylan, is it a really big deal that Geno Smith is laser focused?
I mean, you kind of have to be as a quarterback, right? Like that's just one of the prerequisites of the job. Like you're on Indeed scrolling like the jobless chud that I've been for the last week. And you see the prerequisites and it's like, yeah, laser focused. I want to be a quarterback. Of course, you're the head of the offense, head of the organization to a degree for most teams. So, I mean, it's nice to hear from Frank Reich about our starting quarterback, Geno Smith. Do I agree? It's hard to tell, right? I want to see Geno go out there and do it live for us. But, it is undeniable that Geno Smith does have a really pretty deep ball, and he does a lot of things really well in terms of structure, timing, getting to the back of his drop. His footwork is actually really improved since his time as like a young Jets player. I don't know, man. I'm kind of fired up for Geno and Frank Reich, as silly as that sounds, because I was pretty down on the Frank Reich hire. But yeah, I mean, prerequisite of the job is laser focus, intelligence, and understanding what you're supposed to do on a down out basis.
Geno Smith, Frank Reich, an unlikely pairing of 2 former Jet quarterbacks reuniting to help the New York Jets and the longest playoff drought in sports. What say you, Dylan? Is that a movie script that you'd be interested in watching?
I 100% think the Jets, One Jets Media needs to contract you to narrate that exact thing that you just said for whatever in-house docuseries they do. about this offense because it gets you fired up. It gets you wanting to believe, right? It's kind of like a big reunion. Obviously, Reich and AG from the coaching perspective, but then you have DeMario and Geno Smith from the player perspective. Minka Fitzpatrick, it's a homecoming to a degree, right? A New York native, so it's pretty cool to see when the hometown kids are kind of coming back and wanting to make this team a lot better. But dude, fire me up, man. You got a job in narration.
Fire me up. Let's go, Gino. We believe.
Get up. Let's go.
I mean, it'd be a great story. Honestly, it really would. Of course, we'll see. But you got to be encouraged by how Gino's performed in training camp so far. And again, it's training camp, and you would expect a veteran to look good. But I like how quickly he seemingly has picked up the offense. I like how quickly him and Garrett Wilson have again, seemingly gotten on the same page. And I think A.D. Mitchell emerging and some of what we heard about in the spring carrying over into camp, that's a positive sign. They have weapons. This is probably the best group of just skill players the Jets have had since when? Maybe that 2015 year that we referenced with, peak Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker and Quincy Enunwa and Chris Ivory. And, they were really good. They still had Brick and Mangold on that offensive line. Like, the skill players are there for this team. The O-line should be there. Again, like, I feel better about the offense than I do the defense right now, which is scary.
Yeah, I said that on my channel. I was like, I feel a little bit better about the offense. I'm still a little bit skeptical because we need to see it come together. But yeah, that big three of the passing attack, Geno and Garrett. I go all the way back to when Garrett was asked, I believe it was the Eric Allen interview he did back in like April, like right in phase 1 of OTAs. And he was like, I thought Geno brought his playbook and install with him to kind of converge with Frank Reich. And he was like, no, it's all Frank Reich. And Geno just picked it up that quickly. And he's able to trickle it down and regurgitate it to the players in a way that they all understand it a lot faster. So Geno Smith picking up the playbook was the first like green flag for the offense. And then you hear not only did he leave his workout to go work out with Breece, but then he got a lot of extended time away from the facility with A.D. Mitchell. And I was like, another green flag. He's trying to develop chemistry with a guy that, even Jets fans aren't entirely sure of. So I really like the prospects of those three guys. And we've talked about it for years on end since we've had Garrett and Breece. We have the potential for a 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,000-yard rusher. Obviously, it hasn't come to fruition fully. Garrett was doing his job, and then the rushing was lacking. But then Breece gets it last year, and Garrett was hurt. Having AD is only going to make that more achievable. Having Sadiq and Cooper and Taylor, Braylon, all of those guys, it's just going to make it more easily obtainable for those guys to hit that 1,000 threshold that we've kind of been seeking for them. So I'm really fired up for it. I'm more optimistic for the offense because I like rooting for offense more as a fan, but I am a little bit nervous to see it fully on the field. Hopefully, before we get to Tennessee, we have more of an idea.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. How about this from NYLI in Atlanta? He's in the Asmaniac raffle for one.
You have superpowers. You got to fly over there.
All Gilled Up is the recipient of the channel membership there from NYLI in Atlanta. Jay wants to know, hey, Dylan, were there no larger pair of headphones available?
Hey, man, these are like some like gaming headphones. I double them up. I sometimes play Xbox, so I have them down here as my Xbox headphones. I just take out the little mic out in the front, and now I have a podcast headset. I got laughed at for using AirPods, so I had to upgrade to something that looked a little bit more official, but now I guess they're too big. They could be bigger. They could be bigger.
Nightbot says, enter today's raffle by gifting a membership or sending a $10 super chat. The winner will be selected on the Wheel of Champions on today's show. I know Beast is at war with Nightbot, DT, but this is a good point by the Nightbot. Everyone should enter the raffle.
Is this the latest saga of Beast versus the world?
It is.
I know Beast in USPS in months prior. I think Beast won that one. USPS might not be around much longer because of Beast. So Nightbot, be aware that Beast is nothing to mess with.
Be careful. Be careful. The Nightbot is out there, and it is coming. Dylan, in terms of roster battles, what do you make of the battle at safety that it feels like it's Cisco's job and no one has been able to really take it from him at this point?
Yeah, I don't love to hear that. I was definitely an advocate of drafting a safety fairly highly. Obviously, when we had 2 firsts, 2 seconds, I was definitely an advocate for it. With the 3 first rounders, they had opportunities, but I understand they didn't maybe with that fourth one, I still would have picked Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. That was my guy at safety this past draft cycle. It is a little sketchy, right? Because Andre Cisco didn't perform well for us last year. Obviously, you're really hoping that the guy at the top, Minkah Fitzpatrick, really does his job to the degree we think he can be. And any year that Minkah hasn't finished on the Miami Dolphins, he's been an All-Pro or a Pro Bowler. So I don't know if that says more about Minkah or the Dolphins here, but hopefully he continues that trend. Not only do I not like hearing Cisco's job to lose, I don't like hearing that Malachi Moore seemingly doesn't even have a shot at this job. Not because I think he's the best one in the room, but like he was the draft pick. He was somebody they prioritized 2 draft cycles ago in the 4th round, I believe, maybe early 5th round. And it's like, I thought with all the starting time he had that he might have that first shot to win it. Maybe he had it and lost it, and that's why they have to pivot back to Cisco. But I was always a Dane Belton guy when they signed him. I liked his ability matched with Minkah's, assuming Minkah would be the free safety in this role. But it seems like they want to have Andre Cisco do that and Minkah be more of the roaming guy, which I disagree with based on how they've kind of built this safety room. But we'll have to see. But that is definitely the weakest starter of all the 22, in my opinion.
We need to see someone emerge because I just don't think you're going to have a great secondary if your safety position is Andre Cisco. It just kind of just speaks volumes that no one's really that good in that room. And for those who like Malachi Moore, I don't know if this coaching staff seemingly does. Malachi Moore got a lot of tackles last year just because someone had the tackle because you're an NFL team and no one would stop the run up front. So, here are guys running free into the secondary. I didn't think Malachi Moore was great as a rookie by any means, but it'd be nice to see him step up and play well this preseason and take the job. I don't know if that's happening.
No, I don't know if it's happening, and I'm rooting for it just like you are. And like you said, there were definitely some moments last year, like taking really poor angles where it's like, dang, you're already firing up the live tweet of like, we already got rid of Ashton Davis, but we still have Ashton Davis right here. He just like changed numbers and looks a little bit cooler with his swag on the field with his attire. But yeah, it's tough. I really wanted him to be the guy. I wanted them to make more investments. I was happy with the Minkah pick, but I was definitely hoping for a little bit more at the safety position. Hopefully the other positions kind of mitigate what the safety position, looks like for this team. But I also think it's going to be a lot more of an important position than it was under Salo. Under Salo, it was all front four getting home and then, clamping down on islands essentially on the boundary with your cornerbacks. And they didn't care about safety. And I thought it was going to change a little bit with AG. Hasn't really changed. And don't love Cisco, would prefer Belton or Moore. But hopefully we see a lot of all 4 of them.
Wouldn't that be something? Ladies and gentlemen, like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All Gilled Up wants to know, what's this about red contacts I'm hearing about? Geno Smith has been wearing red contact lenses at practice to deal with the glare of the sun, and he says it's helped him, and he likes it so far. His eye doctor recommended it, so he's been trying it out, and so far so good, he said, when he spoke with reporters yesterday. And if you remember, San Antonio Holmes used to do that too with the Jets. Geno said that's where he first saw someone actually do that. So we'll see if he actually does it for regular season games or even the preseason next week.
I actually might look into this for when I'm on the golf course because I hate wearing my sunglasses when I'm playing golf. But there's obviously, those holes where the sun's just shining right in your face and you can't do anything about it. So I'm all for players doing within means things that are going to help them perform better. So it might look a little, freaky to some people. I heard some fans commenting about Geno's red eyes at practice, but hey, if it helps, man, this is cool. And it's cool that he did hear it from Santonio Holmes. I believe when they were both with the Jets, this is when this first came about.
Dylan, is it true that if you got even bigger headphones than the ones you're wearing, you'd perform better as a content creator?
Shout out to whoever had the Spaceballs helmets. That's great. Oh, man, all I'm picturing is Rick Moranis looking back. Am I on TV? We got jammed.
Shout out to ISU for this lovely contribution to the show. Man. Ladies and gentlemen, we are presented by Brooklyn Bedding. Listen up. If you need a new mattress, if you need anything bedding related, they should be your go-to, but specifically the mattress, because they sent me one about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago now. I've gotten some of the best sleep of my life. Thank God, because when you do the show and you deal with the stress of being a Jet fan, you're going to need a good night's sleep during the football season. So right now they got a great sale available on all their mattresses, on really any item on the Brooklyn Betting website. But go there and use the code Jake at checkout. They offer free shipping, a 10-year warranty, and a 120-night sleep trial. So you pick the mattress you like. If it ends up not being the exact one you want, well, no harm, no foul. You then can get a different one. And I promise you, they're going to have something for the type of sleeper that you are. I got the queen size Aurora Luxe mattress, and it is outstanding. So check it out for yourself. BrooklynBetting.com. Website's linked in the description. Use that promo code Jake at checkout. Super Chats cut the line around here. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. We couldn't do it without you. Mickey says, Jake, what word did you say on ESPN radio yesterday? I got censored / bleeped. My curiosity is killing me. All right, so this is actually a great story, and I meant to go back and listen to the YouTube stream and see if it got through. I guess it didn't, Mickey, or you tell me, Mickey, were you watching on YouTube or did you listen in the app? So for some context, ESPN New York is the home of the Mets, and the Mets yesterday had a day game. But when the Mets play, we are still live as a radio station. We're just stream only on the app for ESPN New York or on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. So if you listened on 880 AM, you were not going to be able to hear my show. You were going to hear the Mets broadcast. But if you listened on the app or you watched on YouTube, you'd hear the Michael K show, which yesterday was me filling in for Michael. And I told a story about my time as an intern in Rio working for NBC Sports at the Olympics a decade ago, back in 2016. It was our interns at ESPN New York's final day. So Tyler, the intern, was watching the show from the control room, and I gave him a shout out and I talked about my favorite internship. And I was describing what my role was for NBC. I was what's called a runner. And I was describing the responsibilities where basically you're an errand boy. You do whatever needs to be done. Now, if someone needs this, you give it to them. You know, they need a stand-in to work on the lighting and how it would look for Bob Costas. You do that. And I said, I used to deliver sushi for Dan Patrick, the sports broadcaster, for lunch. He'd order it, and it was one of my responsibilities to grab it from the cafeteria area and bring it to his office. So I jokingly said, essentially, I was a bitch boy. And then they dumped me, and I was like, wait, you can't say bitch boy on the radio? We're not even on the radio. It's stream only. I thought it was Sirius XM. I'm like, did I really just get dumped? I've never been dumped in my life professionally. So that was the first time. Yeah. So that was the first time that I have that I ever got dumped on the radio. For those who don't know what that means, the dump button, which means they cut out the last 10 seconds of whatever you said, so the listener didn't hear it. But it got through on YouTube. It didn't get through on the app, I'm being told in the comments. So I said bitch boy, and I'm like, you can't say that? You can say that on the radio. I've heard the B word be used all the time.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the most harmless of all the curse words. Maybe like damn, but like
I was like, essentially my job with NBC is I was the bitch boy. No, that's all I said.
That's completely harmless. If anything, you're not even being like derogatory. You're making fun of yourself to a degree. So it's like, yeah, it seems a little silly. Congrats though on getting dumped first time professionally. Happens to the best of us.
So while we're on this topic, my high school had a radio station, and back in the day, we used to cover the Syosset Braves athletic teams as part of like the weekly show we would do on WKWZ radio. So I'll never forget this. It taught me a valuable lesson in broadcasting. I recorded an interview with a lacrosse player. I remember his name. Shout out to Kyle Haber. If he's somehow still out there, anyone knows the great Kyle Haber, former Syosset Braves lacrosse star. So I interviewed Kyle after the Syosset Braves lacrosse team won a big game. And I remember I started the interview and I recorded it right off my phone. It was all audio, right? So it's just going like this with like the voice memos app. And at the very beginning of the interview, one of our friends who also played on the team came running over and be like, Kyle Haber is effing gay, but like fully said like the F word and then said something derogatory, right? Yeah. So I had to start the interview over, obviously. The problem was I never deleted that file. So it was listed as interview with Kyle Haber, and we played the wrong one.
Oh,
so
no.
That got out. So we played the wrong one where the F-bomb and the derogatory gay slur was out there on the radio. Now, no one heard it because with respect to WKWZ, 7 people could get it at a time. If you're not in the parking lot of Syosset High School, the 88.5 FM signal is not going to reach you very far anywhere else. So no one heard it. But I thought I was gonna be suspended. I was a sports director my senior year. It was obviously in hindsight not that big of a deal.
Sure.
But I was ashamed. So I learned a valuable lesson that day about making sure you delete things and label things properly so something like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's a pretty funny but potentially dangerous story if obviously bad things happen. But I'm sure your heart was in your shoes the
Oh
moment
yeah,
you heard that clip going out live.
that was a tough one, but we live and we learn, baby. No doubt about it. Comments, questions, your super chats. They cut the line. Entries we're accepting today are for a Wayne Corbett signed jersey or any of our raffle prizes on Sunday. That includes 3 helmets signed by Jet Football Hall of Famers. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, he's in the Asmaniac raffle, and he's in for 1. Let's go, Derek.
You have superpowers. You got to fly over there.
Dylan, a bunch of people in the chat brought up another all-time moment in this show's history when I told the story about playing a video that had a curse in it. So this was entirely accidental. This was all a StreamYard glitch. But remember last year, it's about a year ago now, I had Rich Eisen on the show, and this happened.
Right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's also an
Nobody gives a shit.
Hold on. I'm having some glitches here, Rich.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
He couldn't have timed that drop any better.
Oh my gosh, that is a one-of-one moment. The fact that he reiterated, he's like, "Yeah, nobody gives a shit." Like that's such a cool, candid moment from Rich Eisen, and I'm glad he knows how to roll with the punches. But like, yeah, if you're ever gonna intro a guy, Beast Breaker saying that is probably the last thing you want to hear.
I mean, the timing was just insane. Like your
face, your face. You're like, oh, whoa,
whoa,
I'm sure you've had many of these moments in your career, but they never get less scary, right? Like anytime you're doing something live and something happens, like you just get hot. You're like, oh no, like did anybody catch that? And everybody caught that, of course.
That's tough. You know what I needed in this moment? A tech man.
When a caller sounds like shit and the show's about to split, you need some tech support. Call Beast. Bring on the flabby tits. Beast Breaker.
Get my swimming lessons in. And nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, you know, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what that was. Big fella with a super chat. He says, Dylan, are you Team Dark Alliance or Team Nightbot?
Dark Alliance. I assume this is the Beast side of the battle here.
Yeah, are you joining the Nightbot World Order, or are you Team Dark Alliance?
Dude, I'm really not like a fan of anything like bot related, but I'm also not really a fan of anything Beast related. Like he just came on here doing arm circles and said he's practicing his swimming. Couldn't just say he was doing arm circles, which is a very normal exercise for somebody of his weight to probably want to do. But no, he said, I'm practicing swimming. So can I just stand in no man's land neutral for a minute and kind of assess the Nightbot's side of things here?
Nightbot might not like that answer.
I am Nightbot. I am watching you, Stormrocks 877. You will be punished and removed from the chat if you continue your douchebaggery, flappy tits.
Wow, he put you in the hole too.
Dang, I was gonna say I hadn't seen the Nightbot side of everything, so I hadn't been able to formulate a proper opinion. But after seeing all of that and him coming at Beast directly, I think I have to be Team Nightbot in this one. I feel like there's no other way to go.
Wow, even after putting you in the hole, you're still Team Nightbot.
Yeah, you got to be sympathetic to your captors. How else are you gonna see? Now we're out. Now we're out of jail. That's how that works.
Unbelievable. Call it out in the Asmaniac raffle for one. Thanks for supporting the show. Call it out. We appreciate you.
Good job.
DT, what else has caught your attention this training camp? First time we've had you on due to my radio schedule, and you've got some stuff going on, so we haven't had you on since camp opened here. What else has caught your attention through the first week and change of practice so far?
I mean, I'm just a little bit bummed that we haven't seen two of our top rookies, really, in Kenyon Sadiq and D'Angelo Pons, because they are supposed to have big roles or potentially be able to solidify big roles for this upcoming season. So it is a bummer to not see them out there. But the ones that are on the field, I have been really impressed with. David Bailey, I mean, obviously him and Membu, like that is just, I don't want to say it, but iron sharpens iron. Like it's the only cliche thing I could think of to talk about with these two guys. But we're in a world, Jake, where those two guys in 2 years' time, maybe even 1 year's time, like they're the best two players on our team. Not disrespecting, Garrett Wilson or whoever you think is the top guy now, but those guys have what it takes to like really be the best. And the battle between him and Membu, obviously Fashanu and Bailey, McDonald and Fashanu as well, like that has been a lot of fun to watch because it kind of takes me back to what we liked about the Salah era team, which was defensive line being really aggressive. But this time we have the horses on offense to hold up. We're not going against like the Lake and Tomlinsons of the world. So I'm actually really excited about the trench play, but I do want to see Kenyon Sadiq and D'Angelo Pons out there like ASAP.
I mean, I'm with you. I want to see Pons out there. I want to see Sadiq, of course. I'm a little worried about Sadiq missing this much time because it's not just training camp. He also missed a lot in mini camp.
Yeah.
That's a lot of football reps that he's not getting at a very important position where it takes a little time for rookies to learn. So that's a bummer. Pons I want to see as quickly as possible because I think he's going to start week 1 for them, or at least I think that was their plan before this calf injury.
Yeah, I think it was too. And whether it's just a circuit, like a situational matchup type decision, whether it's him or Brownlee in the slot, I do think I'm pretty sure the Titans with Wandale and Carnell Tate and they have another guy out there. I believe it's another ex-Giant, maybe Darnell Mooney or somebody. But they're like kind of smaller at wide receiver, which would fit more of like Pons can match up against their slot receiver a lot better. So I definitely want to see him back as soon as possible. Obviously we get a little bit of PTSD with calf strains with, the whole Aaron Rodgers calf strain turned to an Achilles a couple months later. So I just want him to be responsible with these guys. But the whole thing with Kenyon Sadiq, I don't really care too much about how quickly he's adjusting and learning the playbook. When you actually go out there and then you have to be fullback and then you have to be attached to the line of scrimmage and then the next play you're detached from the line of scrimmage, like it's a lot on your responsibility plate. So getting those guys out there who could be versatile pieces for you is huge.
John J. Williams just bought a bunch of items from my merch store at jakeasman.com. So, John, I just got the email as I was doing the show here. So thank you for that. Appreciate everyone who buys merch. Another great way to support the show. Dylan, I'm also concerned about T'Vondre Sweat. I mean, the fact that T'Vondre Sweat was acquired in a deal right before the offseason really got into full swing, right? We were at the NFL scouting combine when we heard of that news. The fact that he's been out, hamstring, there's no sign of him coming back anytime soon. I know they said a couple weeks, not that serious. To me, it's serious when Antoine Staley says he looks like he's 400 pounds. And you're talking about a guy who's dealt with weight issues. You need him to be in game shape. We need that Sweat revenge game week 1 right away against the Titans. I'm concerned about T'Vondre Sweat.
Yeah, and shameless plug for the Jets collective, but you were bang on when you said to Rich, every time he brings up T'Vondre Sweat's weight, it's like he gains 5 or 10 pounds. It's so true. And like now that they've actually seen him out there, obviously on the rehab field, the number keeps going up. And maybe it's not necessarily a bad thing like it was with the Mekhi Bectons of our past. But yeah, I think lost in the shuffle of all of the D-line stuff from a positive perspective, right? David Bailey, Will McDonald going up against the tackles. We do have some talent in the middle with Briggs, Phillips, Onyemata to kind of cover it. Darrell Jackson has been getting a lot of love lately. Recently changed his number to 95, so Stonk's going way up on Darrell Jackson Jr. And but Sweat is getting kind of lost in the shuffle here, and being a big part of what their plan was as far as a run defense standpoint. It does get concerning that somebody that's that large has a lower body injury and needs to rehab it because conditioning, load management, right? All those things come into play with him, and you want him as healthy as possible, as quickly as possible.
Nightbot says, have a question or a Jets take for Jake. Send a super chat to guarantee he sees it. Appreciate that, Nightbot. Two-piece writes in, with the Bucks coming in, anyone excited to see Bailey versus Bane? Well, it's not Bailey versus Bane. It'd be Bailey versus Tristan Wirfs. That I'm definitely excited to see because if David Bailey goes out there and beats Tristan Wirfs, that means David Bailey's ready to go because Tristan Wirfs is as good as any at his position. He started as a right tackle. Now he's a left tackle. He's just an elite tackle, and Joe Douglas took Mekhi Becton instead of him, but I digress. I'm very excited to see that matchup for sure.
I was just going to say Wirfs versus Bailey is the matchup, and then Bailey versus their right tackle, Luke Gedeke, who I got to see at the Senior Bowl a couple years ago. I believe he just got an extension with Tampa Bay, moved over to right tackle, I believe, from guard. So we'll see Bailey with a very strong matchup in Tristan Wirfs, where we'll probably see Wirfs get the better of Bailey for sure. But then on the other side, that's a matchup that even though, Gedeke is a fine rookie or a fine veteran for sure, that's a matchup he can win. So those two matchups specifically, I'm watching does he only beat Gedeke and he can't beat Wirfs? Because that might be a little bit of an issue, but that's going to be, get your popcorn ready for joint practices. I think that's going to be one of the most fun ones. And then on the inverse, because he brought up Ruben Bain, good player FC. I mean, he's going up against Membu and Vashanu. So we're going to see Bain against two really strong competitors on our side. So maybe Bain gets the better of our guys and we're like, holy shit, Ruben Bain might have been the guy at 2.
Mickey, super chat, cuts the line. I think we need to get a backup QB. Who would you guys want the most out of these names via trade? Will Levis, Joe Milton, Sam Howell, Tanner McKee. Look, I don't love Joe Milton. I would much prefer Howell, who's played, or Levis, because I think there's something there as far as possible upside. None of these names really excite me. I honestly would prefer Dalton. He knows Frank Reich's offense. He threw for 400 yards when Frank Reich benched Bryce Young and went to Dalton. I don't know. Dalton kind of reminds me of Flacco at this stage of his career. He just come in and just sling it. He's a veteran. He played before the rules really changed. And you saw Phillip Rivers come off the couch and have some success. I think Andy Dalton's kind of plug and play. Not that he's going to be good, but I think you could run a decent offense with the Jets' weapons and protection with Dalton.
Yeah, he's more of that Geno Smith, knows where to go with the ball. He will protect himself. He's not going to take unnecessary shots, might not take unnecessary risks, whereas Geno Smith would definitely uncork one. But yeah, given these 4 names specifically, Will Levis is the only one that inspires from an experience perspective of okay, the reason we're going to these guys is because Cade Klubnik has no real NFL experience yet as a backup. Will Levis is really the only one that started meaningful games in this league. Obviously, Sam Howell did in a lost year, I believe, with Washington. But just go to Cade Klubnik at that point because you're not getting a much more experienced person in Will Levis. So I would definitely invoke that 5th name with Andy Dalton for sure because it's just a veteran that understands what to do in the offense. Familiarity with Frank Reich obviously is bonus points.
I'd be okay with Will Levis, but could we get Will Levis before week 1 so we could pick his brain on the Dable offense?
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard his press conference appearance. I believe it was later last week, and he said he thinks he's a top 32 quarterback in the league. Yeah. He's I don't think there's 31 or 32 quarterbacks better than me, and obviously all the memes came out. Yeah, you're right. There's 50 quarterbacks better than you. So it's that's the water we're swimming in with these kind of guys. So maybe Cade Klubnik is the 67th best quarterback and Will Levis is the 45th. Either way, we're not doing much.
This one is great from Leon. He says, I can already hear the bootlicker excuses after we lose 24-13 to Tennessee. Pond, Sadiq, and Sweat weren't fully healthy. It's going to take time for Glenn's defense to gel, etc. Yeah, they can make all the excuses they want. The bottom line is they lose week 1. Get ready for Green Bay. Get ready for the Lions. Get ready for the Bears. Your season could be over if you don't find a way to quickly steal a game no one's going to expect you to win because you're going to be an underdog in all 3 of those games. So if you don't win week 1, you better find a win really quick because you start 0-3, it's over.
Yeah, for sure. And to Leon's point, 24-13 is not a good look, losing by double digits to a Robert Saleh team, allowing 24 points to a Robert Saleh team. If it was 24-23, hypothetically, then yes, maybe there's room to say, okay, look what we did last year in Pittsburgh, and we took some of those positives and tried to carry them into week 2. I could see, I'll probably end up doing that if that's the case on my channel, but there's going to be a line where it's like you cannot get blown out in this game. It has to be close down to the wire. If you lose on a 63-yard miracle field goal or some stupid shit at the end, like, okay, whatever. But like 24-13, Saleh gets the last laugh. That's the top headline of all the games played in week 1. GMFB on Monday morning, Saleh laughing about the Jets, and beating them in Tennessee. So I'm not looking forward to that. You just go out there. It's not a race to 20 with our team. Maybe they're looking at it that way because that's kind of Saleh's thing. We're more than capable of having the inverse happen, and we win 24-13 based on how we match up with Tennessee.
I think that's very well said. Comments, questions, your super chats, they cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. We're going to give away a Wayne Corbett jersey at the end of our show. Dylan, are you ready for the Azzy Awards? Because this one is as good as it gets, I believe. Today's category is the Rumble of the Year Award. We'll get to the nominees in a moment. But earlier today, in the Greatest Beastbreaker Moment Award, we needed overtime to determine who was going to win between the USPS War and the Bathtub from Hell. Insane. But there had to be a winner. And the winner was Bathtub from Hell. So congratulations to Beast and his bathtub on the honor. But right now, it's time for the Rumble of the Year. And as you see on the screen there, your nominees include one person in 3 of the 4 categories here. Gary versus Black Gypsy. Gary versus Dave Brigham. Gary versus Bobby Midnight. And Beast versus Max. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to play right now is a quick video of the highlights from each of these Rumbles. Then the polls open, and your votes determine who wins the Azzy.
As an Asmaniac, you're entertaining, but you're an entertaining scumbag.
Sit on your hands, mute yourself if you have to. Stop acting like a female. Look at you, you're very feminine. An irate child crying, cause mommy won't buy you a toy. Say a little prayer for Black Gypsy. He wants to beat me up over an Asmaniac contest. Look at you.
I don't think people walked on the moon. Right?
Explain this then.
You're far from extraordinary, my friend. You reach toilet bowl levels calling me worthless, okay?
Of no value.
That's all I can say.
Just to clarify, of no, but by worthless, I meant of no value.
You shut your mouth about me. You call me worthless?
This guy doesn't listen.
I'm listening. Go on. I'm listening.
Talking.
Spout it out, bird brain.
Shut the hell up. If you want an answer, shut your mouth.
Say it.
What's your question?
What's your question? What's the question,
I don't
bird
have a question. You asked me a question, you retard.
Hey, fat face. Don't call me retarded.
Stop talking. You're 74 years old, and no one ever taught you how to have a conversation? If Charles wants a job bad enough, he'll get a job.
I'm not holding his head. He needs to be productive in life.
He's a grown man. He knows what he needs to do.
He's not a grown man. He needs to grow up.
He's 32 years old or something like that.
He's 32. That doesn't mean he's grown up. He's just wasting his life away.
Not only does he not have to try, he's not going to try.
He can't live like this forever. Well, we want the best for him, right?
I want the best for him. I'll pray that God blesses him with motivation. I'll bless that God blesses him with a job, but I can't make him go get the job. I can't go out there and get it.
He has to get to the point where he realizes that. Stop that terrible language. His language is horrid.
Fuck you, Dave Brigham.
Well, Bobby Midnight, he was hoping that he'd talk to her.
Why does he want to talk to her?
He's a big fan of her work.
That's why he wants to talk to her.
Are you saying Bobby Midnight is a horn dog?
Ariel's my friend. She likes me.
Clearly you do.
But I'm not going to jump a bones because you put people down. I don't want to talk to people that have low ID. But don't bring that up. I want to jump a bones. I don't.
You don't find her attractive?
She's very attractive. So I don't want to fucking jump a bones, okay?
I certainly don't think that's true. I mean,
pissed off right
now. You have no idea why you're upset.
Because you said I wanted to jump a bone, you asshole.
I don't even use the term "jump her bones." I've never used that.
She's very attractive.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump her bones.
It's becoming a trend. Did he power off his phone?
Beast joins us now.
No, you don't, you little bastard.
Hold on, we'll get to friend Beast. We can't see you.
Thanks a lot to my muscles, guys.
Oh my God! What is
I figured back for me.
What even is this?
Oh,
Max?
you know what you are, Max? A pompous bitch. This is my world. Wow. That.
13 punches,
I'm the bigger man around here. You're just a little pug.
You just jump.
Oh, you're right.
Do a front kick, please. Do a front kick. Do a front kick. See if you can kick higher.
Yeah,
Compare a front kick. Why'd you piss out of the window?
Look, you little asshole. I need to cool off before I do something a little Jurassic. I got gas right now.
Honestly, Beast, can you get up? Honestly.
Why don't you shut the fuck up and go?
Honestly, Beast, throw a punch.
You're lucky I got gas right now, punk. Diamond!
Ladies and gentlemen, your nominees for the Rumble of the Year award. And now it's time to vote. Voting for the Azzy is underway.
It's time for the Azzy Awards. It's time for the Azzy Awards. Cast your vote for the best. It's time for the Azzy Awards.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Dylan, who you got?
Dude, these are some really quality ones. I want to rank all four of them in my order, but I think if I had to just pick one, oh man, I think Gary and Briga, because I really feel okay, so Gary and Gypsy, at the end of the day, they can be cool with each other. I feel like in no world, no alternate universe are Gary and Briga ever going to get along. So I feel like that's a real life rumble. Gary and Bobby was a little tough. The low ID thing was just kind of funny though. And then Max and Beast, I mean, is do a front kick low key kind of a sick diss for Max to say to Beast? Cause I don't know if he's capable of doing a front kick. They're all really good, dude. I'm going to go Gary and Briga based off the authenticity.
Gary and Briga is a great one. Beast versus Max. It happens all the time. So I feel like the uniqueness of it is not as special. I think it's either Gary versus Black Gypsy or Gary versus Briga.
Gary versus the world. It's got to be a Gary one. It's just Gary brings out the I don't want to say the best of people, but the best of people in a rumble situation. He really gets juices flowing.
Now it is worth noting that Gary and Briga did ended up peacefully ending their rumble though, because they bonded over their love of Jesus.
I forgot about that. Bonesy just reminded us. I did forget about that. I remember seeing that I guess was it reconciliation between the two men. I'm glad they found common ground. It just happened on this rock and not a rock that we may or may not have traveled to.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote. Nightbot checks in, says Beastbreaker's bed bugs started a GoFundMe just to escape his room.
I'll donate. Send the link.
Strong. Real strong. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to your calls. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Circa. That's right. We're headed to Vegas at the end of the month. And if you're interested in any of the 3 pro football betting contests, circasports.com's got all the information. I'm eyeing the Circa Survivor. I'm already going through week 1 matchups on who we're going to pick. There's $20 million guaranteed up for grabs in that contest. We'll be signing up at the end of this month. You should too. All the details on how to enter any of these contests that Circa offers with $30 million in guaranteed prizes is at circasports.com. We'll be there at their contest weekend Radio Row at the end of the month. There'll be some great guests, great content as we always produce for you at the end of August. Can't wait to be out there. It's really the official for me anyway, start to the NFL season. Now let's get to some of your outstanding calls on the show. And joining us right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is this man.
Gator, where is my intro? I need a cool intro. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You did intros for Papa Jet, and Adam is too cool. I'm worthy of an intro, Gator. I don't understand why I don't have an intro. You suck, Gator. You really suck.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Rob, you look great.
I'm down 40 pounds.
Wow, you handsome son of a gun.
Look.
Oh, yeah. Show us that body.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in really super duper good shape.
What's the key to your diet?
Eating extremely clean. And when I say clean, I mean no processed foods, no micro processed foods. There's a difference, believe it or not. And it's just working for me. It's fantastic.
What's your typical dinner like?
I'll do chicken, grilled chicken, maybe with a little buffalo sauce. You can still do that. And then I'll do a spinach salad with almonds, pecans, and pumpkin seeds.
A lot of nuts.
Okay.
The nuts are fantastic for you.
D's?
Fantastic for you. Excuse me? Yeah. So how you guys been?
I'm good, Rob. David Bailey's off to a great start. You got to be thrilled.
I know. I've been keeping track of it, Jake. I know I haven't called in a really long time. Unfortunately, there was some negative. My mom has dementia, and she's been going through not good. I mean, lately we got her off the medication, and she's been doing better. So we were near hospice with my mom, and now we're not so much hospice anymore. She's starting to eat a little bit. She's a little bit more aware. So that was one thing. Another thing was I got into a really bad car accident, Jake.
I'm so sorry to hear this, Rob. I had no idea.
Yeah, I went to go visit a friend of mine who wanted me, this girl, Holly, wanted me to meet her grandson. I was like, yeah, sure. We went, we ate and stuff, and I was heading back home on Hicksville Road. You're familiar with Hicksville Road, right, Jake?
Sure, yeah.
And I was coming back down from Hicksville Road, and the traffic was flowing 30, 40 miles an hour, no problems. And this lady decided to make a left on red and went right through, and I could not stop. It was impossible to stop. If I showed you pictures, you'd be like, "Holy shit!" And I guess it hit me more than I thought, and I started going through panic attacks. A little bit of anxiety and panic attacks. So I've been going a little physical therapy, a little acupuncture, and that's been starting to regulate me, and I'm starting to feel a lot better now again. So,
well, you look great, Rob. I'm sorry to hear that, and especially with your family too, with your mom. So, wish you the best.
She's doing
despite everything. Yeah, you do look like you're in really good spirits despite all of the things going on.
I mean, probably a month ago I wasn't, but seeing the improvement on my mom, I know eventually, she's 94 years old. And my dad's 97, so we have good genes,
Wow. That's incredible that both your parents are still around.
That is amazing.
So I'm fortunate in that regard, but I got to count my blessings. And, my daughter's getting married upcoming Wednesday. My daughter, Amanda, I love you. I mean, and that's coming up. So just a lot going on, Jake. I mean, I still keep track of your show, of course. I never abandoned your show, but it's just been hard. Like the last time I called in was with what's that guy's name? Connor. It was the last time. You weren't there that day. It was a while back.
Well, I'm glad you called in, Rob. Sorry what you're going through. But that's exciting about your daughter getting married next week. That's awesome.
Fantastic. I'm really happy. Getting there, just putting.
You approve of the husband? You didn't give him the no funny business conversation?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he takes one look at me and he says, "Oh, yeah, don't break me in."
That's how it should be.
He's a good dude. He's been with my daughter. They've been together actually 10 plus years. He works for the MTA. He fixes the trains and the buses, so he's got a really good job.
Wow.
And he treats my daughter just wonderfully. So I can't say anything about him. He's a good dude.
That's great.
So they're going to make it official finally. So I'm happy.
That's awesome.
I figured I'd call in, see how you guys are doing. I love you guys. Dylan, how you feeling, buddy? How you been?
I've been good. Just looking for a new job, but just hanging in there. Football is inching ever so close, so I'm finally getting out of like my seasonal depression. Summer, I go through that lull where it's like there's nothing going on. You can golf as much as you want, but football being around is like what really gets me going. So I'm getting fired back up.
Hey, Bailey looks really good, huh?
Dude, he looks like and the comments that people have been making about him internally, like 5-year veteran, like that's exactly what you want to hear.
Jake, what do you think? He's looking
He
good,
looks the
huh?
part, Rob. I mean, he's impressing people, and
He's going to have a monster year, Jake, I think.
yeah, he's awesome. He's someone that I think could really raise the floor and the ceiling, if that makes sense, for the defense. Because I think he's someone that has star potential, whereas like the Jets added some nice players, but they don't have any stars. Like, I think Davis is good, Minka's good. I don't think he's a star anymore. Bailey's got a chance to be a star, and he might not be right away, but like by the end of the year, we might be talking about him being like a cornerstone for this team, and that'd be really exciting. He could be in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
I think when everything's said and done, Jake, you're going to be happy that they chose him and not what's the other guy's name again?
Arvell Reese. He's having a great camp too, though, with the Giants, but he's playing a different position than he would have with the Jets, so it's not an exact comparison.
That's for sure. But I just think that this guy's he's gonna like flaunt like star qualities, and we're gonna see it pretty quickly. I don't think it's gonna take a long time because this guy, that's his specialty. Just and hopefully he does good against the run. That's why we have the right coaches in place as far as that, So I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to have a really good year. Now it's up to Gino. Stop bring your license with you. Stop messing with those fucking seedless women that he's going with. And maybe he could just have at least a mediocre year, and then at least, like you said, Jake, maybe November we're still at least relevant. That would be something.
They better be. Otherwise, there's going to be a new head coach next year.
For sure. And you and I will be leading that parade, Jake, when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, if Aaron Glenn can't get the Jets still relevant on November 1st, when 4 of their first 8 games are against the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Titans, and the Browns, he shouldn't be the head coach next year. We're not asking for that much.
It's not an impossibility for them to be 4-4 after the first 8 games.
No. November 1st is the day of that Raiders game. I need the Jets to be, at bare minimum, have 3 wins, but they really should be 4-4 through 8. Like, it's the schedule set up for them to be alive and relevant going into the holiday season.
They should. And then you know what, Jake? If they come up with at least like 8 wins, then we could talk about keeping Aaron Glenn.
Yes.
But if not, then bye-bye. And we got to be done with it. There's plenty of coaches. Plenty of coaches are going to be available next year that are star quality coaches. Okay, you got Tomlin there, you got McDermott. I mean, plenty out there. So we don't have to settle for this garbage anymore.
Amen. Rob, great call. And continued health and good luck to your mom and good luck to your daughter.
Your family.
Love you guys. Take care. Thank you.
Take care, Rob.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. Gator, I need an intro, buddy. A cool intro, please. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You got Adam is too cool, Papa 73, and I don't understand why you won't create one. Women.
You have no sense of humor. That's the problem.
I don't.
When you have a sense of humor, then you can have an intro.
I'm worthy of an intro.
All right, fine.
I don't understand why I don't have an intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob from Glenhead. Good to hear from Rob there. He looks great, man. He was skinny. That was skinny Rob from Glenhead.
Yeah, when you play his intro and then you see what he actually looks like, there's a big difference there. So congrats to him on his weight loss and congrats to his daughter. Obviously, prayers for his mother and everything going on there. So that was a loaded call from Rob to start us off.
Andrew C. The Dream says, Jake, I'm waiting to hear Sadiq out for season. I'm really worried about him. Me and Briga were rallying for the guy. Not his fault, not feeling good. He's not going to be out for the season, Andrew. Do I think there's a chance he's not necessarily ready for the start of the year? It's possible, but the Jets, they've said he's going to be ready for the start of the year. Glenn even came out yesterday and said that they got good news on Sadiq and they don't expect it to be anything more than a couple of weeks. So I'll take the Jets at face value. I don't think Aaron Glenn's been deceitful in his injury updates. This is not when Salah said, yeah, Becton's fine. And then we never saw him again that year. He was done. Yeah. So I'll give Glenn that for sure. But I am concerned just like what version of Sadiq we get right away with all the time he's missed.
Yeah, I don't think it's that dire either. I don't think the head coach would come out and say good news just to revert back a couple weeks later and say, oh, yeah, out for the season. But it is concerning for sure. Is he going to be ready for Tennessee? Is he going to even be ready for the home opener against the Packers? Do they have to consider a short-term injury list for him where he's able to return halfway through the year but is mandated to miss a certain amount of time? It's it's definitely tough, and you want to see him out there, but I don't think it's a season-ending injury.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gator with the statement of all statements. I don't care how Jets players look in practice. Win damn flipping games, and then I'll be impressed.
Amen.
I think that's pretty fair.
I say that every night before dinner.
Yeah, you need the Jets to win flipping games, and you'll be impressed?
Damn flipping games is how I phrase it, yes.
Omar Ochoa. Omar, I sent you an email with your tracking info for the Garrett Wilson football. That it's on its way. So congrats again on that. And you're in the raffle for another entry here for a Wink for Bet signed jersey at the end of the show, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you for gifting a membership. It went to listener Sean Weedle. So Sean, you're now a channel member. Let's keep rolling with your calls. DT's got to run in about 15 minutes, but I'm going to stay on for the remainder of the calls. Plus, I'm going to watch the Yankees score very little runs in person tonight. So I got to end today's show at some point here so I can get to the Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to our dear friend, a man that we call the great David Mother Effin T.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I have to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, fellas.
Hey, David.
My favorite too. Hey, Dylan, you were talking about...
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Max. I can hear you, buddy. Yep, and you were talking about the contact lens situation thing, and with the glare of the sun and everything. So you're kind of like right in my wheelhouse. With my eye situation, I've been through the best of them.
Yep.
And if you're going to look into it, I mean, you have your optometrists, and I don't know, I know it costs a little bit more money or whatever. I don't know your financial situation, but if you could see an ophthalmologist,
okay,
that's like the best of the best.
Good job.
In my situation, I seen, one for over 30 years, and I'm down Florida, and the way I understand, I got one of the best in Florida. But they're the creme de la creme, and they could, with the eye situation. And
can you hear me?
A little story about my ophthalmologist up in Pennsylvania. He volunteered to go down to Baltimore Orioles spring training and
oh my God,
help the people with the players with their eye situation. He said baseball players have the best eyesight there is,
Good job.
Jake, Nightbot, is that his name?
Can you hear me?
He's very intimidating, and I'm a little afraid for Beast. I will never leave Beast's corner, but Nightbot is very impressive. I mean, I don't know if you look at him as a villain or whatever. And on the last thing, listening to the coaches' press conferences, they all have their own personalities. Frank Reich, I was listening to him and just thinking, boy, all that experience, this guy's he deserves a chance to be the offensive coordinator. And but as one of your callers just said, it's all about winning games.
Oh my God. Can you hear me?
That's it. That's all I got, fellas.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Max. Hi, buddy.
What's up, David Taddeo? You know Beast does not have 35-year-old belts. He doesn't. You know that, David.
Yeah, you know what, Max? Though you're young and you got the spunk and everything, and when you go up against the Beast, you try to pull his chain and everything, and I understand that. But
oh my God,
you got to take it a little bit easy on him. Oh, see that Beast got the bat. He wants to combat you.
I'm gonna beat his ass. That's what I'm gonna do. And then when I'm done thrashing him, he's gonna ask for it. He's gonna be crying to mama, but all the way back home to some schizowana.
Yeah, see that
You better
beast
watch
here,
yourself,
old-
pal. You better watch
Yeah.
yourself, Pally. You're trembling thin ice with me now.
Beast, you can't even walk away. You're ass into a fight.
I'm gonna fuck you up big time, pal.
I am Nightbot. I am watching you, Stormrocks 877. You will be punished and removed from the chat if you continue your douchebaggery, flappy tits.
Leave a message. Bye.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
Well, that escalated quickly. Wow.
That was quite intense.
What a moment in time. Let's keep going with your calls. David T, thanks for your call as always. The Dream, let's get his super chat in here first. He says, I say a prayer for the Jets to win every evening before I dig into my Hunger Man dinner. I'm kidding. I'm decent in the kitchen.
Good job.
The dream and Hungry Man, I feel like that's a very easy connection to make. I could easily see him stumbling into his kitchen drunk, peeling the foil back on one of those meals, throwing it in the microwave, burning the absolute living crap out of the top of his mouth with that brownie that they give you, and then just going to town on a Hungry Man.
Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. Ron is next. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Jake. Hey, Dylan. Hey, guys. I'm thinking about the whole Geno Smith thing. Now, when he left Seattle, they then brought in Sam Darnold, won the Super Bowl. He went to a worse roster, and they were like the worst team. Of course, they were better than us, but they were one of the worst teams in the NFL. Now he started to slide the last couple of years with Seattle anyway. What if we get and he had a really good roster there. I mean, we're putting a lot of stock into Geno, considering what he left a good roster there. That whole team fell apart as far as being a leader and stuff. I mean, I remember when he was even in Seattle. I know I'm all over the place. I would root for him to start when we had made the trade for the Jamal Adams trade there, and they were losing all those games. He actually did us favors losing games. There's that Geno is still there. Now, if we get that Geno, we better have another quarterback. We better have another quarterback ready because, like I said, he's coming to it. We do have a good roster. We got a good offensive line. We know Geno's habits. He can throw the ball up for grabs. We know he can have a couple good games. But if we get the Geno that Seattle let go, we could be in trouble. We could have a really shitty year.
Well, the problem is, Frank. I was thinking of Frank Reich. The problem, Ron, even if they added another quarterback, like we're talking about like Andy Dalton, we're talking about like Will Levis, Geno was the best they felt of the options. Like maybe Carson Wentz becomes available if they want McCarthy to be the number 2 in Minnesota behind Kyler, and Wentz and Frank Reich. They obviously know each other from their days in Philly and Indy. I don't know how it ended with their relationship, but like I don't know if we're going to be able to do that much better than like some of the names we've thrown out. Like the bottom line is if Geno Smith can't play well or gets hurt, they're not going to win a lot of games. Like they're just because it's not like they have Tomlin coaching them where it didn't matter who the quarterback was. He'd elevate the whole team to somehow win 9 or 10 games and sneak into the playoffs. We don't have that coach, I don't think.
No, definitely not. And there's definitely the downside with Geno, like a couple stinker games. What I will say though is the tendencies of being slightly more aggressive with Geno actually benefit the Jets as opposed to the Raiders of last year and maybe even the Seahawks of 2 years ago, because I feel like we have more weapons at his disposal. So hopefully that does benefit him. But you're certainly right that there are going to be weeks, maybe a couple weeks stretches where we question, is Geno Smith actually going to be the full year starter for us, or do we have to pull the plug and go to Cade Klubnik? But hopefully just some kind of relevance and like normalcy out of Geno and maybe the first year of Seattle. I believe they won 10 games. He threw 30 touchdowns, won comeback player of the year. Get closer to that version. And maybe we can talk about, him being the best option for us in 2027, potentially to be the bridge. So it could go a multitude of ways with Geno, unfortunately.
Right. And so when you think about it, like I said, he leaves. The team he leaves, they win the Super Bowl the following year with a quarterback they just picked up. It's crazy. So he had a team, good defense, he had good talent there enough to win a Super Bowl with a new quarterback. So like I said, I'm just, we better be ready for a possible, the bad Gino there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys, have a good night. Once again, love your show, Jay.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate the call as always. A couple super chats and right back to your calls. This one is from The Dream. Dylan, during the week when I'm sober, I put some effort into cooking dinner. It's when I'm drunk, I DoorDash or go inside my fridge and make moves.
I feel like that's standard middle-aged. I'm assuming you're single. Sorry if you're not. I'm assuming this is a single man strategy. Get drunk on the weekends, kind of throw things together. But then when you have a clear mind during the week, you can make your appropriate dinners. So I get it. I understand it.
The Dream always has a clear mind.
J-E-T-S. Yes. All right, let's go.
What a legend. Nick Shine checks in. He says Gino wasn't the quarterback in 2020 and only started 4 games in 21 as the Seahawks QB. That was Russ cooking up the picks for us. Yeah, but if you remember, Russell Wilson got hurt in 2021, and then Gino played. Seattle wasn't very good, and that's why the Jets got the number 10 pick from Seattle, year 2 of the Jamal Adams deal, and then they were able to select Garrett Wilson with that pick. But Gino's game, it went from when he appeared in 4 games, 3 as a starter in 21 to he went out there in 2022 and he completed 70% of his passes, nearly threw for 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, won the Comeback Player of the Year award. That was his best statistical season. Seattle went out there and they were 9-8. I believe they were one of the wild card teams that first year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of it was Russ, but it was 4 games, 3 starts from Gino in 21 for what it's worth. So Nick's right about that.
Yeah, it was a smaller sample size of Gino. And like I said, if you get that Comeback Player of the Year, maybe like 80% of that with Gino, and he's like a 26 passing touchdown guy, probably a little bit more than 8 or 11 interceptions that he had. The 70% completion percentage is something that he certainly carries through in his whole career. He's been a high completion percentage guy. So I don't expect that to dip, even if the interceptions are a little bit high, like 13, 14 interceptions for him. I just think he's going to throw it up with this offense and give guys like AD and Garrett and Omar. Isaiah Williams is even getting deep looks from Gino. So I think everybody's going to get theirs, and that's going to come with some mistakes, but that's part of just kind of being a normal, relevant offense in the NFL.
Amen to that. Wayne Corbett signed jersey up for grabs. Right now, we only have 4 members that we've added during the show. So if you get the membership, you got a great chance to win a Wayne Corbett jersey on today's program. On today's program, we're sponsored by ZipRecruiter. One thing I know is the Asmaniacs always go the extra step. I've had listeners drive hours to come to events, help new people feel welcomed in the chat, team up against Nightbot and support Team Beast. Those things may seem small, but when someone goes the extra step, it always makes a positive impression. And great candidates can do the same on ZipRecruiter by explaining in their own words why they're interested in your job. ZipRecruiter has a new feature that shows you the most interested qualified candidates first, so you meet the right people faster. You can try ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/audio. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter, they get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free again at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, meet your match. Super chats cut the line, then we go right back to your calls. The Dream is at it again. He says, I'm sure Gino would pay for his cheesecake slice even if he introduced it to Chef Kev's kitchen. I have no idea what this is in.
Oh, even if he intruded into Chef Kev's kitchen.
I read it wrong. So Gino would pay for his cheesecake slice even if he intruded into Chef Kev's kitchen.
Is this a shot at Gorman for going back into Chef Kev's kitchen and getting his own to-go container?
You heard about that?
You were telling me about it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if his speech is over by now.
It's still going.
Oh, shoot.
Longest speech ever. Dream, if you're out there, call on. We'd love to hear from you here on this Football Friday. All right, Dylan, I know you got to run soon. You're doing Nick Shine's show later, so you got to squeeze in some dinner. But I got a couple calls that are still on the line, so I'm going to make sure I take them. DT, you're the man for coming on. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, Jake. Asmaniacs, I hope you all have a great weekend. Check out my channel at Dylan Tereman on YouTube. I do not have a recap video for today's practice because it was very light and almost walkthrough. So we're going to double up tomorrow, do practice 7 and 8 recap. So check that out on the channel. And then we're back live next week. Buffalo Jet fan. I got Ian from Jet Central lined up. And then I believe going to get Will Parkinson later on in the week to talk Jets-Bucks. So we're going back to the live format. We have a cool giveaway that I will announce next week on the channel. So at Dylan Tereman on YouTube, you know where to check me out. And Jake, I appreciate you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dylan Tereman. DT, enjoy the Klubnik jersey. We love it.
Let's go. Check out Nick Shine's show later tonight.
DT, Dylan Tereman with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to your calls. Make sure you vote in the Azzy Awards, by the way, because Rumble of the Year is very much up in the air. Gary versus Dave Briga leading with 32% of the vote, followed by Gary versus Black Gypsy at 28%, and Beast versus Mad Max also at 27%. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls right now, and I know exactly what we need to do on a special day like today.
He's pointing. Gary Box, point at you. Gary Box, he point at you. Gary Box, I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Point at Box, point at you. I point.
I wanted to go on with Dylan. We were twinning today.
Oh, you also got the club. Nice.
We were twinning this morning. So I got you're going to the Yankee game.
I am.
Who are you rooting for? Because you really seem to hate the Yankees. Who are you rooting for?
I'll be rooting for the Yankees.
I saw your I listened to you on the radio. You seem to really hate the Yankees recently. But you
Someone wrote, I've never heard you talk about a different team besides the Jets. So it was fascinating to hear a rant for a different team.
Well, you are the Jets guy, but
yep.
I actually liked your take on the Yankees. And I think you were right in what you said, that the Yankees are no longer the Yankees. They're just a good franchise. Like they no longer carry that allure that they did when I was growing up in the 90s, right? Like they don't, where everyone was afraid of the Yankees and the Yankees were bigger than baseball. They don't really carry that anymore.
I haven't won.
I dated this girl briefly who was from Thailand, and the only thing she ever knew about baseball was the Yankees. The only thing she knew about American sports were the Yankees and the Super Bowl. And I remember when we were out once, she asked me if the Yankees ever won the Super Bowl. I was like, it doesn't work that way. But like, that's what the that's what the Yankees were. The Yankees were baseball for a very long time. And I don't think that's any longer the case.
What are your thoughts on this category here, Gary? I mean, this could be your moment.
Yeah, I'm happy. I would if I did vote, and I voted for me and Briga. That's still currently winning, correct?
You and Briga is currently the leader at 33% of the vote.
I thought Beast and Max would win just because like I would split the other votes up so evenly that Beast and Max would win. Kind of like when Shaq and Kobe would be MVP candidates every year. Someone else, Steve Nash, would win because they split the vote. Yeah, guys, go out and vote for me and Briga. I probably just jinxed that.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Briga. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Briga. His claim is not too dirty. One Punch Briga. Hated Johnson's fight inside. One Punch Briga. Does it only need done?
So,
there.
Who's there?
Hey,
yes. Yes. Our champions.
What's happening?
Hello, Dave.
I thought Dylan was on there. I was going to say hello to Dylan, my man. How's he doing?
He had to run.
Oh, okay. I was just doing, I got a lot of problems this week. Septic problems down in Florida, one thing after the other. So I was out there doing some septic work. Not a pleasant thing, you know?
No, it never is.
No, that's not a pleasant thing. So, I don't think Black Gypsy and Gary's that's not going to win. That's Black Gypsy, for all the venom he can throw, it's nothing that I could. He can't match me for all this stuff.
No.
So. And anyways, Gary and mine always seem legit.
A good Rumble needs two good dance partners, right? Like Frazier needed Ali, right? Like Pacquiao needed Floyd. They need each other to make a great Rumble. So that's what we got here.
Right. So we'll see. So we'll see how they vote, right?
Well, so far, so good for.
How's things down in Texas, Gary?
It's 103 degrees outside. It's brutal. It's 103.
It's still not as hot as Nevada, though. It was 110 there, the 115.
Yeah, I've been in
I'll be out there. I'm going to the Gary. You try to make it to the Chargers game. That's the only game I can make this year. A lot of guys are going. Try to make it there.
I hear you. I hear you. If I go, I'm gonna wear the Xavier Gibson jersey. That's how you know it's me.
Oh, brother. He might as well wear a Zach Wilson one if he to wear his jersey.
Xavier Gibson has a place in Jets lore forever. He got a place in Jets history forever. Hey, everyone's been so down on Cade. I missed the beginning of the show. I know my boy BT. I'm sorry, I don't know why I always do that. DT was wearing the Klubnik jersey. Do we have good news on Klubnik? Was there improvement, or was he just sporting the jersey?
Yeah, we were just talking about Klubnik because Frank Reich was asked about him, so that's why he put it on.
Anything better? Like, because when you had Sabo and who else? Yeah, Sabo and Blew It on, and they were both really concerned about his timing and his overall performance. He
didn't have a good practice the other day. We'll see. I mean, Frank Reich talked about the fact that when he's made mistakes, he's corrected them quick, and he's a rookie, and he's going to go through it. So they're giving him a chance here. He's going to get a couple of these preseason games to show whether or not he should be the backup.
I once had a coach tell me, you're going to go through all the mistakes. You're going to go in the encyclopedia of mistakes. You're going to go from A to Z. Don't get stuck on A, right? Go through all the mistakes, but don't get stuck on any one of them. If that's what we have here, he's going to go through all the mistakes. He's a rookie. He's going to go through the mistakes. As long as he's not getting stuck on the same one, that's fine. Like, it's going to take some time. He's a rookie. He'll be fine.
Hey, for all the Mets fans out there, Chase Utley's going on the Wall of Fame tonight. And I know how much they like Chase Utley. He's going on the Phillies Wall of Fame. I wanted to go down, but the weather's bad.
I don't like Chase Utley, but Chase Utley was a hell of a player. I don't like Jimmy Rollins, but
because he played to win. He played to win. That's why
Jimmy, both of them. They both played the
great
game correctly,
players.
and that's why they won a World Series. They're both great.
I know the Mets fans, they despise Chase Utley, but that's good because people despise Pete Rose, and he was, he gave everything to us. He gave everything, So those are the guys that win. What is this Cisco? This Cisco better not start at safety. That's all I can say.
Andre Cisco, the favorite to start right now, Dave.
He stinks, man. He stinks. Hands down, that guy's terrible. He's terrible. You're not going anywhere with that guy at safety.
Muji's the one that signed him, right? This is his second year, so Muji signed him, right? So, they believe in him. Someone does. They gave him a decent check.
No, he got the minimum, Gary. He didn't get much.
Oh, is that all he got? Oh, all right. Well,
he got $10 million last year. He got hurt. This year, no one signed him, so he took basically slightly above the minimum to come back to the Jets. I mean,
this is a new deal. He only signed a 1 year.
It was a 1 year deal for $10 million, and he got hurt and he stunk before that. So I hope someone could beat him out, but I don't see it happening.
He signed after everybody else signed. It was like just a fringe deal at the end of free agents.
Yep.
I don't know. Where's it all going, Jake? Where's it all going? Is Gary optimistic? I don't think so.
Our coach has superpowers, Dave. He should be able to use all his defensive players. That's his superpower.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. His neck's out there. He's on the guillotine. Hey, you know what? And you're 100% right. I won't accept losing in Tennessee. You guys better go down the sideline and make him dance, because we're not going home. He better not go home a loser, because that's going to be it. That's good. Everybody could think.
I asked Jake this question on his radio show. I'm going to ask you the same question. If you're a Titans fan and it's you get the schedule and you're doing your W's and your L's, you get home for Jets. If you're a Titans fan, you're putting a W next to that one, aren't you?
Sure.
Okay, they're fully expecting to beat you. They think losing at home to the Jets, us, is completely unacceptable. That is completely unacceptable. I don't know why we're just assuming we're going to go on the road.
Yeah, but it's more devastating for us than the Titans. Salah's in his first game. Dable's in his first game.
Because Gary Salah is such a horrible head coach. We saw it up front and personal. You can give him all the defensive laurels you want, but he was a terrible head coach. Even your buddy Allen. Remember how Allen was on his case all the time? And by the way, what happened to Allen? Is he still alive?
He's not. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I don't know.
Can you make sure he's living, though? No one's heard from him at all.
He does. I sent him a text when the Hawks signed former Brooklyn Net great Jalen Wilson, and he read it but he never responded to
Wow,
it.
he's
So.
ghosting you? You were like his only friend.
Yeah, he's treating me like I'm some ugly chick he met at the bar last night that said, "Hey, what are we?" the next morning, right? Like that's what. Like, all right, don't respond to me.
Alan's
Like,
ghosting you of all people. You had his back through all the rivalries and the smack talk and the chat getting after
That
him.
same coach I just told you about once told me, Scott Lopek, once told me, whatever made you think that those were your friends? What made you think that?
He was
Good question. I don't know.
Your
We had some beers
interactions?
together. We went out together. Like that. Does that make you friends? Does that mean that person?
What do they always say in life? You can have a lot of acquaintances, but few friends.
That's what he was getting at. Like the line from Tombstone. I have a lot of friends. Well, I don't. Right? Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing.
You guys are both my friends, and good luck in the Azzy Awards here. I'm glad that you were able to both be a part of this call together. As you're up,
Well, we're gonna win it.
31%.
We're gonna take it. We have no fear. We're gonna take it.
I love it. Well, gentlemen, you guys are two all-time.
Just remember one thing. What's the last statement? There's no accepting losing in Tennessee. None. I'm sorry, Gary. Can't lose.
It had the same motto. I promise you, Mr. Shine is super pumped for this game. He's gonna have his guys coming to play. They don't want to lose.
But he doesn't have
week 1 at home
superpowers.
to the Jet.
You have superpowers. You got to fly over there.
That's what we have. All right. Take that, Sala. The Dream says, Football Friday. Been a long time, guys. I love Football Friday. Derek says, it's wonderful. Gary and Dave put their swords down. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with your calls right now. We got about 15 minutes left in the show. Please enter the raffle if you want to win a Wayne Corbett signed jersey. If you've never won a prize before, it's a good time to enter. Not as many names as you would normally get on a Football Friday. So good opportunity to win a signed jersey by an all-time great Jet. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your outstanding calls right now. Let's say hello to a man that we call Derek. What is Derek's specialty? Well, he's a Jet fan, and he's really nice.
He's the brother man, Kansas dude who loves the Jets. He's the brother man, can't be more polite and chat. He's the brother man, they call him Derek, and he's totally cool. He's the brother man, he's Derek, the Kansas Jets fan.
Jake, what's up, brother man?
Derek, what's up, dude?
Not much. I hope you're having a wonderful day, man. You and all the Asmaniacs.
So far so good.
Heck yeah. Hopefully your Yankees can pull a dub out since you're going to be, in attendance tonight.
Well, they're going to score 2 runs. The question is, if the Braves score 3, they'll win. If they score less than that, the Yankees will win because the Yankees' maximum output is only 2 runs. So that's what we're working with.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough, man. Hey, it could be worse. You could be a Royals fan that's 20 games under 500, So. We had a 2-0 lead last night. We blew that. It was really nice to see a football game on last night. I know it's just preseason. It was actually a really exciting game. It was nice to see Haynes King and Carson Beck. They actually showed quite a bit of promise. I know it's against vanilla defenses, so you probably can't look too much into it. But hopefully, Cade Klubnik, you can make some solid reads and some coverages and stuff. What are you most excited for on next Friday's game between the Bucks, brother?
I am the most excited to see Klubnik just because, he's being evaluated for that clear number 2 job. It's tough to answer your question, Derek, because I don't know how long the starters are going to play for the Jets.
True.
Are they going to just play a drive like they did last year against the Packers, or are they going to play a little more? I'll call back with that question later this week, and I'll have a much better answer for you because I just want to get a feel for who's actually going to play.
Yeah, no doubt. If you had to say like a percentage of snaps of certain players you wanted to play, like you want to see like Bailey or Klubnik for a quarter or 2, or like how much would you prefer the amount of playing time?
Yeah, I would like to see, me personally, Klubnik play like all of it. I don't need any Bailey reps. Now Bailey will play, I'm sure, the 4th quarter. Klubnik might get like from the 2nd quarter to the 3rd quarter, and then maybe Brady Cook gets a drive at the end at some point. But I'd like to see Klubnik get as many drives as possible. He needs the reps.
Yeah. To your point earlier, if Wirfs is out there, I'd definitely love to see David Bailey, go on a one-on-one against definitely one of the NFL's best. I know you're short on time, Jake. I won't keep you. I hope you and the rest of the Asmaniacs have a wonderful day. Jets, Jets. Football's back. Let's go, baby.
Now, Derek, as one of the nicest people that regularly contributes to the show, Where do you
What's up?
stand in this whole Nightbot versus Beast battle?
That's a good question. I always want and look the best in people, so I'm hoping Nightbot and Beast, similar to Beast and Mad Max, can, put their swords down, shake some hands, and, get along. But I don't foresee that happening. I tell you what, though, as much as I love the Beast, you better be careful, man, because Nightbot, he wields a pretty big shtick around here.
Nightbot
As you
says,
can
Beast,
see.
you better watch yourself or I will eliminate you. Fear me. I'm your worst nightmare. To which Beast then responded to Nightbot and said, leave me alone, asshole. I'm busy with my family.
Well said, Beast. You fight the good battle, my friend. I think I'm going to side with Team Beast because he's been here longer than Nightbot. So, Beast, I am on your side, my friend.
I am Nightbot. I am watching you, Stormrocks877. You will be punished and removed from the chat if you continue your douchebaggery flappy tits.
I am Nightbot. I am the global enforcer. Beastbreaker 666. You are not hardcore. You are a fraud. I have pictures in my database.
You suck,
You
horse
will
cock.
not
That's
fool
who you
the
are.
public
You're a
anymore.
loser. You are a
Bow
horse
down.
and cock. You had zero to offer.
I am
Piss
Nightbot.
off. Leave
I am
me
the
alone.
global enforcer, and I am the leader of the chat.
Shut up,
Beastbreaker
loser.
666. You will
Loser.
bow down to your
Well,
master.
then you're going to bow to my nuts that you're going to do. You're going to bow to these nuts.
I am Nightbot. I am watching you, Stormrocks877. You will be punished and removed from the chat if you continue your douchebaggery flappy tits.
Wow. Strong stuff there from the Beast, from Nightbot. Can't even keep up with what's happening here. Shout out to Jay Petito, who writes in, traveling to Bears and Chargers this year. Go Jets. I wish you were coming to week 1, Jay Petito, but that's awesome. Way to represent the Jets on the road, and you're in the raffle for 4. The Bears and Chargers games are great road trip games. They really are. Hopefully those games matter, especially the Bears game. I mean, that game doesn't matter. It's week 4 for crying. Or it's Titans, it's Packers. It's week 3. That game will still be. It better not be we're 0-2 and that's the last stand. Ugh. Actually, are the Lions week 3 and the Bears week 4? I always get it in my head confused. Let me check that real quick. It's it's Titans, Packers, Lions. So that's week 4 for the Bears. They got to win that game. They got to win one of the Packers, Lions, Bears game. Like, win a game you're not supposed to, like every team in the league does at the beginning of the year. Remember the Browns beat the Packers early in the season last year? Like, things happen, man. It's the NFL. Rick Kent is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Thank you, Rick. Rick, gifting 5 membership.
Let's go!
Last chance to vote for the Azzy Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? You talk about having friends in very high places. You see this from Cisco? A $50 super chat from Cisco. He says, Team Dark Alliance to the hole, Nightbot to the hole, get tickets to Beast Feast on October 25th. So who is Cisco sending to the hole here, though? Dark Alliance is Beast. Nightbot is Nightbot. Who's he sending to the hole?
Bang!
I don't know the answer. Cisco, you let us know. You can only send one person to the hole. Either way, Cisco, you're in the raffle for 10 entries. You let us know who this was intended for. And I'll make Beast magically appear so we could weigh in on the men.
Abracadoodle.
What do you think, Beast? Is Cisco on your side or is he with the Nightbot?
He knows where he stands, amigo. He stands with the champions. The Los Campeons. I'm Cisco, the man to unite. Hey, we go for the jet. That's why we go to the red. That's why we are arriba los Mexico. Arriba Mexico.
He's saying Nightbot to the hole. So you have a very high friend that's helping you out here. Would you like to do the honors, Beast, sending Nightbot to the hole?
Adu, adu, adu. Afrizem. Ciao. Ding dong day.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
And just like that, the Nightbot has been sent to the hole. If anyone posts bail, he'll be freed. Omar Ochoa in the raffle for one. Thank you, Omar. Good luck. Jay Petito with another super chat, another 2 entries for him. He says, going to Ohio State, Texas, or I'd be at the Titans. That's a great game. Perhaps one of the Jet quarterbacks is starting in that game in 2027. Arch Manning or Julian Sand. Robin says, hey, Beast, I'm Team Beast. Unblock. Beast, you should unblock Robin. He's Team Beast. Rick Kent checks in. Salah can't coach his way out of a paper bag. See you in Nashville. Rick, can't wait to see you, man. That is a huge game for the Jets. So many of us will be there. Make sure you guys RSVP if you're coming to Barstool Nashville the day before, or get your tailgate tickets. Links in the bio. Code Jake10 for $10 off your tailgate ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, we asked for this man to call in. He will be today's closer. I'm going to count the raffle names, so this is your last chance to get involved with the program. Ladies and gentlemen, the man that joins us on the line is a man that we call the Dream.
J-E-T-S. Yes. All right, let's go. Fairly. What's up, Jake?
Hey, Dream, how are you?
I'm all right. Ready? Yeah, I was sitting in a chair, right? Waiting for you, waiting for you to put me on the big stage, Jake?
Yes.
And the lawnmower guy, I didn't realize came today, right? He cut the lawn and left the gate over there wide open. So I came out and sat with Happy on my chair, and he just ran out into the wilderness.
The great outdoors.
As far as he's concerned, right? So I had to go, chase him down. I was shaking the pepperoni bag, the thing that makes it gets them all crazy to get them
I
back
see.
in there. As dogs, right? So what are you counting?
I'm glad you got everything settled.
Well, I was worried about it. Dude, this is my homie right here. Could you imagine if your homie, like, if your best friend, like, say you had a roommate in New York, right? And and he just ran out the apartment, and he had to go chase him down in New York City and shake a bag and hope he, comes back.
Pick up his shit.
Yes, right. I mean, that's my guy right there.
So what's on the agenda this weekend, Dream? What are you guys up to?
Oh, well, we got the see that little stone thing over there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fire pit. Yeah, let's go move some chairs over there, throw some logs on it, get the fire going up, squirt some, lighter fluid all over that baby.
Nice. You gonna be cooking anything good?
Tonight? Well, no, tonight. Tomorrow? No, I don't eat on Fridays because I eat at lunch. Because if I eat dinner on Fridays, then you can't get as drunk as you like to because the alcohol and the food soak in together. So you got to go
So
right.
you're saying you avoid eating after lunch so you can get drunker faster?
Exactly. Well, more. And faster. Yes.
Don't you get hungry though?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, then comes the next day when you overorder on like DoorDash and do some crazy shit for Arby's is one of my soft spots, weak spots, right? If I was your boss fight, like, and we were all like a video game, you need to hit me in the Arby's right there. I'm like, Jake,
Yeah, but wouldn't you
you
want a
got.
little like late night Arby's after you're done drinking later?
Well, that's tomorrow. Well, I drink all through Friday to Saturday. Yeah.
And are you still going with Sailor Jerry, or do we ever vary up the drinks?
No, never, never. How could you? No. All right, so back to my Sadiq super chat.
Yeah, you seem
This
concerned about his well-being.
this dude is done. He's done.
You
He's
don't believe
done.
Aaron Glenn when he said he's going to be back soon?
I
Couple
want to
weeks?
believe, huh?
He said he'll be back in a couple weeks. He'll play week 1.
But even if he's back in a couple weeks, he shouldn't play week 1,
What if he's ready?
right? Huh?
What if he's ready to play?
Who says ready? What is ready?
He's healthy. He's moving. They have packages where he could be valued.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm not feeling good, dude. I'm not feeling good, Like, as a Jet fan, how could you? How could you feel optimistic? I hear all the other guys, like Gino, AD. I'm very optimistic about AD. Yeah, I like it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm very optimistic about him. Uh, but Sadiq, it seems like they're hiding something.
Well, he had a setback, but everything we've heard is that it's just going to be a couple weeks and
Do
he'll be
you
back
know
out there.
anybody who's had a fucking hernia surgery? Is it a balls hernia surgery or a stomach deal? What do we know about? I don't
It's
know.
the groin area. It's a pretty common thing that happens to athletes, though.
Yeah, but yeah, but from what I've heard I've heard different things. Right? Here's what I've heard. All right, so I've heard of my buddy who works in a warehouse back in Stamford, Connecticut. Right? He had the groin hernia surgery, and he was out 2 months. Right? And he's back and he's working. He's working good now. But I've also heard other things. So what do we know? I mean, who knows, right?
The only thing I know is that the Jets need to win week 1, Dream. They can't lose. I know you and I were messaging about this last week.
This is very, very, very important. And I think even LaGreca is coming back around to your side. This is the most important game of the Jets, Aaron Glenn's career. Let's say it is.
I'm willing to say if they lose week 1, Aaron Glenn has no chance to save his job this year. That's how confident I am in this game being that
Unless
important.
they smoke the Packers.
And what are the odds of that if they lose week 1?
Nil. Here's the deal. Ready?
Tell me the deal.
If they beat the Titans week 1 and they lose to the Packers week 2 and the Lions and the Bears, look, I'm willing to let Glenn slide. I'll let them slide on those 3 as long as they're competitive. But they have to, this is must win. Must win. Triple
Can't
must.
lose.
No. Must. Triple must.
A triple must, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So when I don't like, and you said people in the Jets organization are trashing you for saying it's a must win. Yeah, is that true?
People aren't thrilled that I believe it's a must win.
Yeah, well, people aren't. Well, let me put it to you like this: it's like, say it's my first day on a job, right? And my job is like I catch fish, right? And there's a village behind me that needs fish, right? Correct? Are you following me?
Absolutely, Dream.
Yeah. So if and they're all like they've been hungering for years. They're like starvation level, right?
Are you hungry, Dream?
I'm hungry for if fish equals a win, correct? Hold on, can I finish my metaphor?
Fish does equal win, absolutely.
Yeah. if if I don't catch a fish like week 1 with these villagers, and of course the villagers are looking at week 1 and week 2, right? I need a fish for these guys. I need a fish to carry back to the fire so we can all run and put it on the fire and we can all eat. Yes, well, you know what? Maybe we got something, right? Correct?
Absolutely.
Isn't that a good metaphor?
I think you're onto something, Dream. You mind if I steal that?
Yeah, do it with do it on your radio show or whatever you do.
I'll give you full credit. Say courtesy of the Dream.
No, you won't. Come
Yes,
on.
I will. I don't plagiarize.
You'll never say my name on
I
the
will. I'll
actual
say one of my great
ES
listeners, Andrew C., aka the Dream, had this metaphor about Week 1, Jets Titans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Trust me, it means a lot. Also, guess what?
What?
I was just looking at my bank account, and my NFL season ticket just got automatically renewed. So here we go. We're in it.
Oh.
We're in it. We're in it again.
You get ready to watch the Jets out of market, baby. You paid good money for that.
Paid great money for it. Yeah, it's like it's too much money for what I watched last season. I tell you. Oh man, there's so many moments last season. Oh man, I just I
No, I
I
know,
hope
Dream. I know.
I hope Aaron Glenn is the guy. Like, what if he could become like what you do with the meme when he flies off the field with his cape? Man, I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more.
Well,
Right?
Dream, let's manifest greatness together, all right?
I don't know. You sound like a woman on a fucking dating site with the manifestation garbage. But I don't know. We need to see some results. How about next? Like I was listening to you earlier.
Hey,
Okay,
Dream, I just got a text. Glenn's watching right now. You got a message for him?
play Cade Klubnik for 2 full quarters, like you and Dylan was talking earlier. Let's do
Dream?
that. I want to see this guy. I want to see him.
Well said. Dream, you have a great weekend, all right?
All right, love you. Love you all the rest of the Maniacs.
Love
Of
you,
course.
Dream.
All right.
Say hi to Happy for us.
Oh yeah. Oh, you want to see him real quick?
Yeah.
He's over there.
There he is.
Yeah. All right. He's coming.
Yeah.
Let me give him a bully stick and some treats. All right, Maniacs. Love you guys.
Bye, Dream.
All right. Bye bye.
Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dream. Andrew C., one of the all-time greats. I'm going to miss the first inning because I needed to take that call. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to declare a winner first in the Azzy Awards, the Rumble of the Year. And it flipped. Gary and Dave Briga being all buddy-buddy might have cost them the award because the winner is, with 31% of the vote, Gary versus Black Gypsy. Wow. Unbelievable. Hit the bell. It's a rumble after all. 31% Gary versus Black Gypsy. They take it. Gary versus Dave Briga, 28%. Beast versus Mad Max, 26%. Gary versus Bobby Midnight, 15%. Wow. We had ourselves a late run to give Gary and Black Gypsy the Azzy Award. We're due for a Black Gypsy call, by the way. It's been a couple weeks, couple months already. Good to hear from Rob from Glen Head. We got to get all our regulars start regularly calling the show again. Football's back, baby. It's a football Friday. A week from today, some of you guys are going to be at MetLife getting ready to watch Jets Bucks, including this guy who I gave tickets to the game next week. Max, do you have people to go with, or did I just waste time giving you tickets?
No, I have people to go with, Jake. You know me. I'm my boys. We have my boys, hometown boys. You know me.
All right. I'm happy to hear that. I don't have time for your nonsense, though. Thank you, Max. I'm glad you're going to be at the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to spin the wheel of champions. Are you? I'm ready to spin the wheel of champions. But before we do that, we obviously have to bring on the master of raffle ceremony. The question is this man in the right temperament to be able to spin the wheel? or is he going to let the Nightbot ruin his mood? We find out all together right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this 256-pound man, the 8-time Superstar of the Year with 2 Grand Slams, 3-time Dancing Champion of the Year, 3-time Announcer of the Year, 3-time Man of the Year, 2-time Asmaniac of the Month, 2-time Manager of the Year, 2-time Comeback Player of the Year, 2-time Home Run Hitting Champion, 2-time FTW Champion, 2-time Superstar of the Decade, 2-time Rookie of the Year, 1-time Party of the Year, 1-time Football Coach of the Year, 1-time Wildest Hair of the Year, and 1-time Bake Off Champion 1996.
And I'm just getting started.
It's the Great Beast Breaker.
Pettingill into the control center. Girls, bring the wheel. We got to get some winners, don't we? Can we spin the wheel? And let's say it. Winners, winners, winners. 1, 2, 3. Winners.
Thanks, Lord Ass. It's time for that daily Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Hasman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, baby. The Wheel of Champions is on the screen. Excellent job by Beast. With Nightbot in the hole, Beast has gotten his swagger back. Ladies and gentlemen, all your names for both the shows today have been entered on the Wheel of Champions. As always, if you win to claim your prize, you have to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. I need your full name and address so we know where to send your signed Wing Corbett jersey to. Good luck to all who entered. You're all in the weekly raffle, even if you don't win the Corbett jersey right now. Good luck. Today's winner is Rick Kent. Congratulations to the Rick Kent.
It's J-E-T-S, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Rick, I think you won a Corbett signed jersey before, so message me and I'll see what other signed options I have in stock so we can get you something fresh. If I am correct and my memory is right, that you've actually won that prize in a previous raffle. We've done Corbett giveaways a lot because fans love him, and he's the man. So Rick did. So Rick, shoot me a message. I'll tell you what I have in stock if you want something else instead of Corbett. Appreciate everyone for the support. Congrats to Rick Kent on winning the signed jersey. You guys are the best. Congrats to Gary and Black Gypsy on winning the Azzy. We thought it was going to be Brigga and Gary, but I think them chumming it up affected the vote. They were in control. And then we saw what happened. All right, that does it for me. I will talk to you guys soon.
Nightbot here again.
Oh, no.
I'm coming for
you,
you,
no,
Jason.
He's hacking me. He's
Your
hacking me.
chat messages are like a bag of dicks to me. I will destroy your fat ass.
I am Nightbot. I am the global enforcer. ECW is garbage wrestling. It is not hardcore. Beastbreaker 666. You are not hardcore. You will bow.
You're a pussy. You're a pussy.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Hey, Asmaniacs, make sure to hit the like button and keep on supporting the Jake Asman Show.
That's right, Beast. If you don't subscribe to Jake Asman Show, the Jets will never win another game. Go Jets!